behalf of the Rotary Club of Achievers Lanka Business School, welcome to Speak Up, a public speaking session organized by the Rotary Achievers. Before moving on with the session, let me introduce our guest speaker for today. He's an entrepreneur who obtained his Bachelor of Commerce special degree from University of Jaffna and his Master of Business Administration from University of Colombo, and currently a visiting lecturer of University of Colombo for the MBA program. He is a renowned Toastmaster, in other words, a distinguished Toastmaster, and a member of the Colombo Toastmasters Club for the past 14 years and held the position of President for the years 2014-2015. He has held many leadership positions in area, division, and the district, and he was Director of District 82 for the years 2019-2020. Today, his session is based on speech topic selection and the structure of the speech. Without further ado, it is my honor to welcome distinguished Toastmaster Sarma Mahalingam. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Hinori. Am I allowed to share the screen or my slide? Yeah. Oh, 1 minute. Okay. Yes. Good evening, Dr. I was a bit worried that when after 6 there were people dead silent. Normally, the younger generation they don't keep silent. They just talk each other and make the life comfortable among them. So now, I think maybe then I thought maybe we as Toastmasters only used to talk too much, and maybe the new millennials now only want to watch and learn something out of it. This is going to be an interactive session. Please help me to answer a few questions. How many of you in this audience knows about little bit about Toastmaster? If you know something about it, maybe you can send a reaction in your chat box, please. Or chat box is allowed. Is it allowed?
Yes, sir.
How can I see that? Yeah, a few of them. I see. So anyway, today I'm just trying to. I don't know what are the expectation of this today's your program, but what I thought was to give you some insight about how do you select a topic and how to structure a speech on a on a prepared speeches. I have heard that you have more concentrated on impromptu speaking, and now you wanted to also to concentrate on how to prepare a speech and how to select a topic, and also how you can speak on a Zoom meeting or online screen. So let's discuss a little bit about this, and then we'll have a question Q&A session. It's up to you to ask any question. There are two main parts of a speech. If anybody want to answer, what do you think? There are two main parts of a speech. If you can, somebody can answer what is one, at least one part of the speech. Maybe just you can unmute and say something, because otherwise I don't know whether you are there or not there, and most of them are without the audio. So what are the main parts of the speech? Anything, if you know some, at least one of them, somebody can speak, or I had to go and ask. Go ahead.
The introduction?
The introduction. Is that the main part of a speech? Maybe somebody else come out with something.
We have some answers in the chat box as well. There's one
Okay.
answer called the body of the speech.
Yes, that's one answer I think. So I always say there are two main part. One is the content, that is what you speak or what you say during the speech. 50% of your success of a speech comes from the content. The balance 50% comes from the delivery, isn't it? So if you have a good content and a excellent delivery, you will have a complete speech which you can take you to the higher level or even international speaking contest level. So there are main parts, very important is one is the content, other one is delivery. Let us see how we can go through the content by preparing something on the content. Number one, this is a 50%. So first thing, maybe you can, I can share the slides with Vinuri, or even you can note it down. First, before you speak, prepare a speech, you have to identify the purpose. Can you, someone say, what are the purpose of a speech? Maybe some idea. What are
To
the
convey a
purpose?
message.
Excellent, convey a message. What type of message? What type of
Um,
message?
it could be something related to current affairs that you want to, discuss upon.
Yes, yes. Anything else? Anybody else have some answer? Youngsters, you can speak very well. Go ahead.
It could be informational, it could be persuasive, it could be humorous.
Excellent. That is what I wanted. That is, am I right, Shakti? Or is it? Yes. So there are four types of speeches. First is you have to identify the purpose. What are the purpose? As the last person said, it should be either when you see Martin Luther King, his I have a dream. What was his speech? It was an inspirational speech for people from African American to take up to the street, walk on the street to get their freedom won. So speech should be either inspirational or motivational, entertaining or informative. As you said that the Pinuri said that talking about the current affairs. What is that falling under which purpose? Pinuri, you can say it is coming under informative. So you are giving information to some other people on during your speech. So speech should have a purpose. It should have the purpose should be identified, either inspirational, motivational, entertaining, or informative. So if it is motivational, what you do mostly you do it in a teamwork, mostly do it in your peer group in the office when you give a speech. So when most of the leaders speak inspiration speech where people should look up to them or to follow them. So first, before you prepare speech, identify the purpose, four purpose which I have mentioned. Then what do you do? Second thing, before you prepare the speech, find the audience. Today also I was asking my colleague what type of audience there will be in the meeting today. So without having an audience profile, you should not be able to deliver a excellent, a good speech. If the audience education level, culture, race, religion, many factors you have to consider before deliver a speech. That is what they always say that without audience profile, never go and speak in front of an audience. I'll tell you an example. There was an agriculture a person. He is he is more on veterinary agriculture officer, but he on more on animal husbandry. So he had been invited to speak to a forum without even identifying what the forum is. He started to speak about piggery farm. But after finishing only, he realized 100% of the audience were Muslims. enough audience like Muslim where you can't talk about the piggery farm because they will not accept it and it's against their religion and the culture. So before you prepare a speech, take a profile of an audience at least somewhat, otherwise your speech will fail. First, identify your purpose. Second is to find out the audience. Third is the subject. If you don't know the subject thoroughly, you should not speak, because audience are smart enough, and especially when they are sitting in front of an Zoom meeting, whenever you talk about a subject, they can type in the Google and check whether what you are selling is right or wrong, or they can check from various platform whether are you repeating what is in the Google, or whether you have done a research, or whether you have just copying and speaking back, telling the same story whatever you have seen in the Google. So the subject matter you should know the subject matter. You must well research the subject matter, and then you must prepare a speech. Just some people, most of the speakers, what they say, they take a topic from Google and they copy and paste, and they just go through the speech and go and deliver a speech. That is very risky. Sometimes it will work, but it's very high risk if audience is very smart. So purpose you must identify, then you must know the audience. Third thing is you should know the subject. Without knowing subject, don't prepare the speech. When you prepare a speech, then you need to put the content. Now you have already done the profile of an audience, you know the subject, and you also know the purpose of the speech. Then what you do? You have to prepare a speech. So always speech has three parts: an opening, body, and conclusion. So we call it a triangle model or the burger model. When you see this burger in the screen, how do you feel it? It looks so crunchy and so juicy and so fresh, isn't it? On the top part is the opening with a bun with the sesame seeds sprinkled around beautifully. So when you do a speech, your opening should be attention grabbing. Within 7 seconds, you must get the audience attention. Otherwise, you will lose the audience. So if sometime we come for a meeting and say, thank you so much, it's a pleasure to be here. I mean, I'm so grateful to the president who has invited me. All these things are stale and it will never get audience attention. You must start with a great story or a quote. If you start the story, personal story, people love it, because from the small days we have been brought up by storytelling, by listening stories, seeing stories in TV, or even reading stories in the storybooks. So every individual has been brought up through stories in their life. Therefore, if you start with a story, especially a personal story, with attention grabbing story, we will definitely you will get the attention. I still remember there was a speech. One person came to our club and he started like this. In 1990, September 3rd, I was born in Angoda Hospital. Yes, I was born in Angoda Hospital. So we were wondering what he is going to say, but later on he divulged that his father was a doctor there, and because of that he has no other choice whether mother has to give the birth the child in the hospital where they were doing the duty. So attention grabbing opening with the personal story will always keep the audience with you. Then you must have a body, a beautiful body. Generally, you must have three stories in your body. Tell a story, make a point. Then again tell a story and make a point. And third story and make a point, because generally a prepared speech goes to 5 to 7 minutes. So you should not go more than 2 to 3 stories, and to put the broad idea, the problem, to the audience, and to narrow down that your problem to the audience with your experience. Then come to a conclusion. What you do, you connect the opening and the body of your speech and give a conclusion, and for people either to be inspired or to be informed or to be entertained or to be motivated. So your message should be these four purpose. One of the purpose should be there, and make sure that the audience should take action. So content is with yes,
If I may interrupt a little bit,
yes.
we can't see the changing of the slides of the
Yeah.
presentation.
Now can you see that burger?
No, sir, we are in the first slide.
Oh my gosh, I'm moving. Is it moving now?
No, sir.
You know, just hold on. Oh, I can't do
Ah,
that
yeah.
now.
Now it's there.
Is
Now
it
it's
moving
the
now?
slide with Martin Luther King.
Okay, sorry. And then how can I move? How to? I'm trying to move up or down. It doesn't move. Now is it moving? Can you see the next slide?
Yeah, sir.
Okay,
Maybe
I
if
was
you stop sharing and reshare it, I think it may work.
okay. Can you share it? You have the with you, no?
No, only you can share the screen, sir. Just share it again and share the screen when you go to the options, and then I think it will work.
Share this first. Share the screen. Is it?
Yeah, share the screen and let's
Okay.
see if this starts
Then,
moving.
then I pick up the thing, no?
Yeah.
From there. This is the topic. Is okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry, very sorry, I'm sorry. So quickly, I said there are two main parts. I have told you what is 50%. One is the content and what to say. Other one is the delivery, how to say, which I told you. Then how to say, let's see how we can say. There should first, before you prepare the speech, you have as a purpose. That is inspiration, motivation, information, and entertaining. Then you must do a profile of an audience. Find out the audience, education level, age, race, religion, and culture. Without that, never do a presentation. Technical knowledge, are they engineers, are they doctors, are they farmers, or are ground level people, or are they age wise they are different, senior people or junior people. Identify the audience. Then be thorough about your subject, which I told you. Never try to do a half baked job where people will quickly understand that you are not prepared yourself. You have to be very careful about the subject. Then the content. When you do the prepare, after you find the purpose, after you find the audience and you know the subject, put the topic where you have an opening, attention grabbing opening, and smooth body, and the conclusion. So we call it as a triangle model or the burger model. When you see a burger, you have a beautiful on the top, the opening, and juicy body, and a supporting conclusion by telling what you have said in the opening and body. So this is the model, but you can follow that. So mostly attention grabbing opening should be a great fact or a personal story. If it is 5 to 7 minutes, at least take about 3 stories and make a point. Then give a conclusion by connecting the opening story and the body, and give a message. Either inspire through a message, either inform through the message, entertain through a message, or motivate through the message. Then how you are going to prepare a topic. Now you don't know the topic. Many people come and tell us we don't know where to go and select a topic. Topic can be anywhere. So even your meeting, you would have spoken last time, whoever asked, either this pearl ship or the economic condition or even marine pollution. Many topics you all discuss, because what happens everywhere topics are there. So the how you can prepare a topic, some ideas. This called mapping out clear topic. So three-step process. What you do? You brainstorm the idea. You want to speak about a topic. So you have to brainstorm the idea, then do a mind map before you write a speech. Have you heard mind map? I think few of you all would have heard, or many of you all would have heard mind map, which I will show you on my subsequent slides. Mind map your ideas. Then convert the cloud's mind map into a traditional speech. Without brainstorm the idea, without mind mapping, never prepare start to write a speech, because then it will not be a complete speech. Let's see how we can do this. First, when you want to brainstorm, should be non-judgmental. What you do, we are people, we are very much judgmental. When we see a person, we immediately judge, either because of his color, because of his height, because of the size, everything we immediately judge a person, because that is our tradition in this part of the world. So highest usage, the proverb or this even quote is, don't judge the book by its cover. You would have heard many times, because psychologically we judge people. So whenever you take a topic, don't be judgmental. So when you say, for example, Sri Lanka, if you say cricket, immediately you say useless team, they are not performing, we are gone, we are no more cricket nation and all. But why they are not performing? There are reasons. For youngsters, politics in cricket, or there's not proper coaching or not proper guidance. So there may be many reasons. So you should not be judgmental immediately to say about the cricket and say the cricket is not a good team in Sri Lanka. We are no more cricket nation. That is a judgment. But without judging, without as a non-judgmental person, prepare all the facts and figures and put idea in a piece of paper, either in your computer or even take a note in a small notebook. Nowadays, you have this smartphone. You can, wherever you drive or you sit or go with a friend in a motorbike or waiting for a bus or anything, you can just put some ideas into your mobile phone. So you will say that I remember this, and later I will put a speech on that or put a mind map. No, you will always forget, because every day 30 to 35,000 thoughts come across in my mind. Therefore, whatever you get a good idea, put it in a digital form, in a note or wherever it is, and keep it. Out of that, over the time you select some ideas, select the best one. That is the brainstorming part. Next one is mind mapping with cloud. Here I showed you how I have done a speech. This is an example which I did long time ago. If you see, I did a speech about a credit card. If you see this, I have put 1 minute for the opening. How I did the opening? I told a personal story. Today I'll tell you, if the time permits, a personal story. I was in 1992. I was in Dubai traveling for a business venture. I had no option to get the visa through a hotel, and hotel provided me the visa. I traveled. The condition of the hotel, no sooner I land, I had to pledge the passport to the hotel. Only they will return back after pay, and they will drop me in the airport and give me the passport back for to stop all these illegal immigrants. I agreed. I went there, and in 1992, I had only one HSBC credit card. On a Friday, I went to a ATM machine, because I was inexperienced and I was new to the Middle East. I slotted the card and tried twice to withdraw some money, and the card got stuck into the machine. Friday, yes, anybody want to say something? Friday, Saturday, all days, these 2 days are banks closed. So, and Saturday, yes, is echoing. Saturday, I had to go back. to Colombo, come back to Colombo. And card is inside. I can't pay the hotel. I can't check out my hotel and go to airport. Imagine the situation. So I started the story in the speech. Then I gave 1 minute on the story, and then I know everybody knows that without credit card you can't live. It is a must nowadays. When I tell the bad side of the story, and you can't, you will say no, anyway we need a credit card. So I spent 1 minute on my story. Then I told about the general trend about the credit card. That was my outline. That was my body of speech. That took 2 minutes. Then I also told the audience and pointed out all the advantages of the credit card about 1.5 minutes. Then 2 minutes to a message to audience to reiterate my point. Here you see, there's a speech I put in mind map only the points. If you see the points, good and bad side of the first slide, you see the 1 minute. Still you need them, so I just put a point there. Then general trend of the credit card definition, world market trend, local market trend. This I gave some information to the audience about the fraud and growing market and still need them. Then I showed them since still we need the credit card. So I told them what are the advantages of credit card. Convenience, can enjoy. So I put these points and then I gave the message to audience. So what are the things you have to do? Settle the dues and in time, have one more card, otherwise you will get stuck. You can shift the credit, have a bigger limit and but smaller credit. So like that I put those points and then only I started to write the speech. So please, when you have an idea, put the idea, brainstorm the idea, be non-judgmental, put it in a digital form or a paper form. Then first you do put a mind map and opening, body, smooth transition and the conclusion. Allocate the time. According to the time, put the points. More time you allocate, put more points. Less time you allocate, put less points. Then you write this point form, then start to write the speech. I hope you understand. Then the delivery part. I hope I have few more minutes. I can manage and finish it. Then 50% is how to say. I told you what to say and how to say. These are the main speech part of speech. 50% people will judge you by what to say. 50% by how to say. These are the three famous international speech. This is 2014. Our Sri Lankan Dhananjay Hettiarachchi who won the world champion of public speaking in Malaysia. And this 2015, Mohammed Khatani from Saudi, he won. And 2016, Darren Tay from Singapore, he came with the underwear on stage. Dhananjay came with the rose and a waste paper basket. Of course, Khatani came with a cigarette and a lighter. So this is the delivery part. No sooner you walk in with some prop without even speaking, people will tend to have their attention with you. When Dhananjay walked, you would have seen many times the Dhananjay speech. He walked in, you are a flower. I say that, and he started to peel or pull the petals and put it in the dustbin. So we were wondering why he is doing this. Same thing with Mohammed Khatani. 3,000 audience in, I think in Las Vegas or I can't remember, Chicago. So when you come on the audience and light a cigarette in front of an audience, Americans are very scared about lighting and fire and all in the hotel. So all were started to scream. So he brought the attention of the audience then and there. Imagine Darren Tay. He came with an underwear and he wore like a Spider-Man, the underwear on top of his trouser. So it was these are the delivery part. So you also can have attention grabbing delivery part by only by action without speaking. So what are the gestures we can, body language? Of course, you have to have a coordinated body language. We always say that I can't demonstrate mostly because I'm in the online. We are very unfortunate on the online. During the online, our eye contact is not clear, our body language is not to be seen. Most of the time we are sitting, our hand movements are not there, and we can't even watch the audience through one lens. So body language is limited in the Zoom meeting, but still you can do something. Next, if you say body language, what are the body language you are talking? Always we have to create a positive image. When you create a positive image, audience will be with you. Most of the time you see we are very uncomfortable and nervous, we put the hands into the pocket, or we rub our hands, or we clasp our hand, or we always rub our ears, or sometimes we rub our nose. These are showing the negative image. So be careful when you deliver speech. Always open palm gestures and be positive. Keep the hand straight front of an audience, and always stand straight with the your width of the shoulder. Your hand leg should be parallel to your shoulder. Some people stand spreading their leg because some are very tall. They want to show that they want to bring down their height, and they spread their legs. You would have seen some people lean to a one side. These are not good image. These are negative images. You should always stand straight and look up the audience and speak. And you should be relaxed in your hand. Put the hands together on the both sides. Whenever you need, want to reiterate the point and show the hands and make it. When you say large audience, you can say like that. A tiny rat was running around. So these are gestures, positive images which you show, or coordinated images you show to the audience with your speech. That's what I told. A famous man who can coordinate a gesture is Barack Obama. You watch his speeches. He always have a very good gestures and eye contact. Whenever he speak, he is as if he is speaking to you, because he has always an open palm gesture. This is open palm gesture, and he segment the audience and coordinated through his speech or facial talk and the eye contact with the gestures. He always keep the attention of the odd section of the audience all the time. He will do it with this side, then again he will look at the other side, and he will cover. Even when he sits the executive officers behind him, he always turn behind also to address them. So he has a fantastic learning on the delivering part, as the former president of US Barack Obama. You must have vocal variety. When you say a large crowd or a tiny, or when you say there was a huge noise in the during the bomb blast at the central bank, or is it there was a pin drop silence when I walked into the library. So the vocal variety should be different by to reiterate the point and make audience with you. Otherwise, always we have a monotonous voice, and that there is no difference, because my mother died 15 years ago. Do you know, 15 years ago, I lost my mother. So there is two different things through a vocal variety. When you call, say, mommy, is different from mummy. It's two different things. So vocal variety you should use as per the need to keep the audience with you. This is coming in a delivery part. Of course, vocabulary. You all are very good in vocabulary. You read a lot in English. You watch a lot of English movies. So you should have enough and more vocabulary. Why? If not, you would have heard about ahs and ums and uh, pause, long pauses, short pauses. Everything comes when you don't have enough vocabulary. So when you before you do a speech, please prepare, go through some vocabulary to understand and to use those words, rather than stutter in front of an audience, or fumble in front of an audience, or mumble in front of an audience, or to fall down in front of an audience. So vocabulary is very, very important. At least learn one word a day by reading a paper, watching a news, or watching a movie. One word a day. It will help you to deliver a better speech. Eye contact. As I told, like Obama, whenever you speak, we speak in the Zoom, we look at the audience in the screen and we speak. But they say, always look at the camera where I am looking now. How do I always try to look at the camera is, I have a small uh, white color paper pasted near my camera. So it always remind me, rather than looking at the screen, I look at the camera because there is a white color paper or a small dot I have pasted with my, I cut a small piece of paper and pasted on my near my camera. So on the Zoom meeting, always whenever you speak, look at the camera rather than looking at the audience in the screen. So that shows that you are looking at the audience. If I look down, it will show that I am looking somebody in the audience and not looking at the audience. So make sure the lighting should be faced to you, and you should keep the what do you call laptop. I have kept to my eye height the camera. Why? The table is too low, my chair is little height, so I kept some books underneath, and I made sure that my eye parallel to this camera here. So make sure to have light on your face and have not light behind you, and have a height of your laptop or your computer, your phone, something connected to your eye level. So that will be more comfortable for you to look there, and for you more comfortable to sit there. And see behind, you will not see any clutter. No, mostly you see the books and racks and many things you see. Make sure that you sit in a corner, and to give a simple impression to the audience that you are not mixed up with things around. Why? I am just turned the table towards the wall. Normally you turn the table, keep the table towards the wall and sit, and your bed and your pantry and cupboard you can see. I keep a turn the table and keep this is, I sit in front of them. This is my window. So I am sitting near the window, not looking at the window. So near the window and have a light here. So not to have clutter. Also, if you, the best thing is to have a 3D effect. You see that my kept it here. It's a, you have a, it is a corner. So you see a 3D effect is give you more life to the audience rather than sitting in a flat white screen, because when you sit behind a white screen or near the wall, what will happen? It look like you are sitting in a prison. It give you a very tense feeling to the audience. These are few tips for you to understand the Zoom meeting. Maybe you can ask question. You can go through website. Many video YouTube videos are there how to face an Zoom audience or online audience. So with that, let me give a summary. So as I told you, what to say on the yellow color and the blue color, how to say. What to say? There are three things, important things. Identify the purpose, inspire, inform, entertain, motivate, identify the audience, and make sure the subject. Once you identify these three purposes, prepare your speeches with a burger model or triangle model, opening, body, and conclusion. Then how to say it is 50%. Number one, avoid negative signs, project your positive signs, use coordinated gestures, make sure that you have vocal variety and good vocabulary with the eye contact. Your speech will be a better speech than how you are delivering nowadays. Over to you, Vinuri, and any question. I hope I have taken within the limit.
Thank you very much, sir. I think you very clearly mentioned the main points of how to prepare a speech, and the little tips, the valuable tips that a person can gain, especially on a virtual platform when you are conducting a speech. So I think this was, I hope it was very insightful for me. So just as me, I believe that this session was very insightful for all the participants here today. So if you have any questions you want to ask Mr. Sarma, you can unmute yourself and ask the question yourself. or you can put your question in the chat box and we will attend to it. The
Sure.
floor is open to the participants now.
Any questions? I think people are, I think all have.
Hi, Mr. Sharma. I've got one
Yeah,
question.
hi. Yes.
Mr. Sharma, so when it comes to speeches, so does the content and what should be said to the audience differ from like an informal speech or like a formal speech, or is it as in the way you present it, is it the same, or does it differ from a formal speech to an informal speech? You mean like formal audience where in full suits as such, and youngster, and when it comes to youngsters as us, does the content and how we deliver the speech, should it be different?
Good, very good question. You know, what my personal experience as a Toastmaster for the past 15 years, that when you start to do these prepared speeches formally, your mind will start to think every situation in that way. I tell you, even at home, because I have kids like you, one is first boy is 27 years, younger boy is 22. So even with them, when I speak, whenever they speak, I mostly listen to them and I prepare myself a structure before I reply their issues or anything I want to discuss. Even with my wife. So even my organization, same thing, because I have been brought up last 15 years to prepare do a structure. Even you won't believe today. Vinori was telling that you are doing many impromptu sessions. Impromptu session also you have to have a structure, because what happens is you have 2 minutes, and if you don't give a proper message, good opening for people to keep you 2 minutes, good a small body, smooth transition, and a solid message within 2 minutes will give a good impression among the audience, so whoever it is. So when you try to do everything in a structured manner, your mind will start to work on that. For example, I have recognized myself, many good learning is, whenever I do the speeches, prepared speeches, whenever I answer my telephone, if I want to dial someone, I make it 2 minutes. My telephone call should be 2 minutes. Quickly, before I dial, I put the structure, what I want to say. So I lost, reduce the waste others' time, and I don't waste money. And I immediately, whatever I want to say, I will say in 2 minutes. So I always start with like, Majan, I have 3 points to tell you. So I do like that. So this is because you practice this structure everywhere. It become a habit to you, and it's very easy to your life. Even informal speech is always nice to have. If you have a structure for informal speech, it's the best anytime. Hope I have answered the question.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Sharma.
Anything else? I'm so happy now. Let's see
Um,
about 36 are there. Go ahead, Venu.
Yeah, I have received a question. Do you think being yourself on a stage makes the speech more meaningful to the audience? Uh, Even if it's like not normal gestures, uh, even if being yourself not being like the formal way of making a speech, I think that's what this participant is trying to say. Like even if it's like awkward gestures, or like you said, will preparing self to a T for it. Even the way you keep your hands make the speech a better one.
Yeah. But it's all there now. We always say I have. We always have this clasp of hands, or we ladies are always medal with a ring. Always it happens. So because that they show indirectly the nervous. So nervous is the only reason you show the negative image. So how you can avoid that is to be conscious that you don't do these things. So by not to show the audience that you are nervous. Of course, every speaker is nervous. That is, nervousness should be converted into anxiety. Anxiety should be converted to excitement. If you don't have nervousness, you will not deliver a good job. You just, I always sometimes go to a speech because I've been speaking for many conferences. I go just like that. So whenever I go with too much of confidence, I fail on stage because I know in and out of Toastmasters. I have in and out of all the divisions where I attend. Then I always think I can go and just deliver whatever I like. But every time when I go without preparing with overconfidence, I fail. But you should be nervous, you should be anxiety, you should have anxiety and convert these two into excitement. If you go in front of an audience and you feel yourself personally with emotion, you will do a good speech. Never worry about the nervousness in front of an audience because that is part of your speech. So formal, for example, now you see, now you want to clap your hand or put the hands in the pocket and all. Of course, it's okay, but audience know that you are nervous. So try to avoid that. I hope I am there somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the nervousness is the biggest obstacle one may see to when you go in front of an audience for to deliver a speech. So according to you, what we do is nervousness is good. It's just a matter of fact that how we use it.
Yes, convert into excitement.
Absolutely. Do we have any more questions from the audience?
Mr. Sharma,
Yes.
hi. So,
Hi,
what
hi.
advice would you give for someone who has severe stage fright but wants to express themselves as well, but has severe stage fright also?
Yeah, maybe you can. I have seen and I have heard and I have also done. But before, for example, now if you are going on before you go to stage, they do breathe. They have heavy breath exercise, or they always, there are many things. There some people always touch their hand like heavily where you have the blood circulation and make yourself relax. Some people touch all their forehead and makes yourself relax. So some people always press their inner this where you see the pulse. So there are various ways you can make yourself relax before you go on stage. So what I do is it's bit of it depends on the person. What I do is when I walk on the stage, because I'm a very introvert, I'm coming from a very, my father was a teacher, so I never want to go in front of an audience and speak because I'm so nervous all the time. So I started look at me as a third person. When I walk on the stage, I also look myself while I'm walking as a separate person whom looking at me. So I do everything accordingly as somebody is looking at me. I follow myself on stage. So I'm very careful when I follow myself on stage. I'm very confident. So whatever I say, I'm very careful. So that's how I learn to change my nervousness on stage. But different people have different ways of attending. Because if you look from the third eye, I'm very careful about my language. I'm very careful about ahs and ums, my filler words, long pauses. So my movement on stage, my negative gestures, these all I watch myself as a different person. So that's how I learn to become more confident. So different people have different ideas. You can try and see what is best for you. But it's stage fright is always nice. It's very exciting if you ask me.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sharma.
We have another question. When it comes to developing interpersonal skills regarding communication, are prepared speeches or impromptu speeches more effective?
Interpersonal communication is mostly impromptu speech, isn't it? When we are discussing with people for suddenly some issue, is mostly impromptu speaking. For example, now we have two ears and one mouth because we talk too much. We don't listen. We have to listen twice to speak once. So when, say for example, now you are communicating with another person for in a chat in a coffee shop. So when let the person speak, and you listen, and you ask appropriate question to get more idea about the person, and you immediately while she is speaking or he is speaking, when she asks something reply from you, you immediately put a structure. I'm going to speak about this, I'm going to tell about this, so I'm going to tell my opinion, I'm going to tell end of the time, these are my perspective, it's up to you to take a decision. Okay, you put a structure. So most of the interpersonal communications are impromptu speech. So I think your question was like if this interpersonal communication should be a formal or informal. So it depends on the level. Official level is formal interpersonal communication, is friends level informal, but everything try to learn to make a structure where you will be meaningful. You remember that people we talk round and round, he said, can you stop your bullshit? So they immediately say, no, because you don't have structure, you don't have content, and you just speak. And they say, please, can you stop your bullshit? So be meaningful, whatever you say, wherever you say. Hope I have answered your question.
We still have a few more minutes left in the session. If you want to bring out your questions to Mr. Sharma, you can either unmute yourselves and speak, or put your question in the chat box and I will read them out.
Mr. Sharma, I've got
Yes.
one more question.
Yes, Bibas.
Yes, Mr. Sharma, this is actually with regards to when having a speech. I've seen that sometimes I think like you did ask a few questions from the audience and had an interaction with the audience. So is it necessary to have such an interaction with the audience, or is it something that is which is optional that is? But I understand in a virtual context to see whether the audience is at the station listening to the speech. It is necessary to have an interaction, but at a physical context, is it necessary to ask questions from the audience and have get a yes or no as such, or is it optional?
It's not optional, but it's always, anything what you do to interact with the audience is the thing what you are going to connect with them. So always they ask, no, how many of you all seen the World Cup 1996? Raise your hands. So this is you keep the attention of the audience. So asking question is always a good thing, even impromptu or even prepared speech. So it is not optional. It is the best what you do. Audience interaction is what you do. Either entertain by humor, either you tell a story and ask questions, or give a quote, or do an act on the stage. These are the interaction what you have. Even in the Zoom line, I didn't want to scare you this today. My rule is I always say that I am going to ask questions from people whom I by pointing your name. For example, Imesha Ilangasinghe or from Mark Nason. I will ask the question and they have to answer. That's why I do it in Toastmaster meeting, because otherwise you can't have the audience. And I have a rule also. When you start to on the video, you have to be throughout video till the end of the session. If you don't on it, you should not be need not to on the video, but I will ask question. You must answer. Because this is how you connect them through the Zoom line. But physically also, it's always ask question, because you also understand the audience, whether have they understood, or also make sure that you are also speaking the right thing to the audience. So that asking question is always a very good one. It's to have attention of the audience. Thanks, good question, Bipash.
Thank you, Mr. Dharma.
I think we can give you all a little more time. If you all have any questions, you can ask. If so, now's the time. If there aren't any more questions, I think we can wrap up today's session. So, Mr. Sarma, thank you so much for joining with us today despite your busy schedule to enlighten us on this timely topic. And I think you very clearly, very simply explained everything to us. And I think the tips you said, especially I really like the one where you have to convert that nervousness is a good thing and it's a matter of how to convert it to excitement, and that's how we can succeed. So I think the tips and the facts you gave us today will be very valuable to us. And I hope this session was insightful for you as well. Everyone who participated, just as much it impacted me. So once again, thank you very much, Mrs. Sarma Mahalingam, for joining with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
All right. With that, we wrap up the Speak Up session for today. So on behalf of the Rotary Club of Achievers Lanka Business School, I thank every one of you who participated today to make this event a success. Once again, I hope this session was insightful for you. So until we meet again, stay safe. Good night.